it is official. Here is the stance of the Toyota. It's actually not on the jack stands in the back. It's on the jack stands in the front, but it's not on the jack stands in the back. So this is the official stance of it. This is what is gonna look like. Well, actually what it looks like as far as its stance. I tell you, it's so low that you have to take the shocks off in order to get the tires off this little car. So this is the stance. I still have to do the tin work inside. So I still got to do all the tin work inside here. I'm gonna have to cut that side a little more because it's really close. Well, actually both sides I want at least 2 inches. So I gotta cut a little higher and get that straight, and I'll cut on the outside there a little more because it's pretty close. I was trying to cut as little as possible. Should have listened to what my father always told me, just cut stuff out the way and then just put it back. But sometimes I try to be so precise when I should have cut to the outside edge over there a little more. Right in here. Oops. Right in there. I should have cut on the outside edge a little more. I got plenty of gap on this side. I still have to go up a little bit. I need 2 inches on this side. But on that side, I'm really close. Maybe about, it's about a ½ inch maybe. So it's not bad, but I'm gonna cut a little more out of that side and go up because on top is definitely too close on both sides. So then after I do that, I can start, well, still gotta weld this in, but before I weld that bar in, like I showed you before, I still gotta make a plate for there. And then I just gotta put that part back on and do all my tin work. So I'm gonna have to take the shocks off one more time, at least one more time, just to get the tires off and do all the tin work. So I'm still gonna attempt to use the original tubs and just add something in there, but I'll see what it looks like and I'll go from there. I may end up just making some tubs and putting in there since we're not putting the back seat back in it anyway. So that's where I'm at on it. Okay, a little slight change of plans. I know I said I was gonna put the wheel tub in first, but what I'm gonna do is actually cut this on this line. I may end up taking a little more out on this line to give me the clearance. And now that I'm on this side, you can see how close that is. So I'm gonna take some of this out. I narrowed the rail underneath, and so I can only go so much. This is where see this little spot? Well, that's the rail is actually right on this line. I'm actually gonna cut a little bit into this rail, I believe. No, well, right here I'll be cutting into the rail a little bit, but we'll still be okay. And so that way I can have clearance there. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that first. I'm gonna take my grinder and cut that out along that line. All right, so I started on the tin work. So massaging the wheel tubs back in, trying to get it fitted like a sheet. So this is where I'm at so far. Got a little bit more to get it in there. I'm gonna have to put some metal in here. Well, I've got to weld that back in place. Gonna have to put some metal in there because that's where the new subframe that I've made is running. So that's as close as that's gonna get right there. But as you can see, look at that gap. Looks like, well, hold on, let me measure it. Looks like on the biggest part, of course I gotta clean all that up so it looks even. Oops, hold on, let me back up a little bit. So it's about just under, well, it's about 4 11/16 down there. Up here, it's approximately, oh, what did I say? I meant to say 4. Skip what I said 4. I meant to say 4 11/16. I'm not sure what I said. But anyway, and up here, let's try to get this to the most narrow part I can get to. About 3.5. But of course I'm gonna overlap a little bit, but that's the gap. That's how much wheel tub I extended the wheel tub out. So like I said, working on this now. Of course, once I get it all where I want it, then I gotta clean up everything to the bare metal so I can weld it back in. So that's where I'm at right now on the passenger side. And then, like I said, I still have to cut all of this to clear that better. But I'm gonna put the wheel tubs in first because that will have nothing to do with it. So that's where I'm at. Still making progress on the Toyota. All right, cutting time. Okay, so from the bar to this metal, I have about 1/2 inch, which means I need to cut another approximately 1.5 inches out of here. So what I'm gonna do, because it's double metal, I don't know how to say it, but anyway, it's double skin. So I gotta measure another 1.5 inches up to make it 2 inches, and then I'll just cut it across here, so that way I can separate the 2 skins, and then I'll cut it, and well, I'll cut it first, separate the 2 skins, and then weld it back together at 2 inches. So let me get to that. So I got it cleared out here. See, I got a little more space there now. So I still have to go up a little bit, but I'll jack the differential up so I can make sure I don't want to take too much, but I don't want to take too little either. So let me do that. Good thing about this, bending this, I have to make basically a tunnel to go across here anyway. It's not going to be out like that. It'll be more tilted down. Plan on it's gonna have to be removable so that he'll be able to take the ladder bar off loose in the front if he has to make any adjustments. But yeah, this'll it's gonna look a lot better once I get done. Trust and believe. All right, so I got it cut out and got it folded up. I'll put some welds to weld these two pieces together. Let me see if I can get a better shot at it. And weld these two together on both sides. Do the same thing, and then, like I said, I got to make a tunnel. Oops, got to make a tunnel for this. So what I'll do is I'll run it off of the top of here, and I haven't quite, well, I kind of know how I'm going to do it. Basically, I'm going to put a flat piece down here. Well, it'll be an L shape. Run all the way along here on both sides and around the front here. And then I'll make the box to set on top of it, and probably put Zeus fasteners on the sides, so that way it'll be easy to take off to make the adjustment if he needs to make an adjustment on the ladder bar on the 4-link setup. So that's how that's gonna most likely go. But I reserve the right to change my mind on how to do it. But I think that's gonna probably be the simplest way. And of course, I'll clean up all these edges and all that so it looks nice, and weld this back in. Because originally I wanted to cut it wider, but because of the way the frame rails go, couldn't cut it wider. Okay, so I have both wheel tubs, the inner wheel tub welded in place. I still have more welding to do, but I have them welded in place. And I'm starting to make the strips to go in, the filler strips to go in. So that's where I'm at right now. All right, so I'm in the process of welding in the filler panel, and it's a slow process because I only have 2 hands and I can't be on the inside and outside. So what I've done is taken my porta power, and I have to keep moving it up. Got it propped against the differential. I'm not putting a lot of pressure on it, just enough to close the gap. So I'm putting the filler panel on the passenger side. I mean on the driver's side. Yeah, so I'm putting it on the driver's side now. And I'll get back with you on how it turns out. I got the driver's side wheel tub welded in. Of course, I got to do some filling in there, because once you cut it, of course, it's not going to fit the same. So I got it all welded in. I got to do some grinding, smooth everything out. This is what it looks like in the back. All welded up. Of course, I got to do some filling in there. But that's how it looks. Now I just got to do this side. And then after I finish that, I will come back in and make the boxes for these. Make the boxes for the arms, for the full-length arms. After I do all that, before I weld it in, of course, I still got to weld the bar across here. This bar here. Got to weld that across there. But I'll make the boxes first because it won't stop me. Because, well, actually, you know what? I will weld that bar in first. Yeah, I'll weld the bar in first. Okay, so I have the crossbar, the top crossbar welded all in. So now you can see exactly what I was planning. The bar wasn't quite long enough, so I had to make some spacers. It's hard to weld to the old metal, but it'll hold. And so I got it welded in on both sides and underneath. So now just have to put the cover over the top of this, and then I'll start making the cover for this. Okay, so here's somewhat of the idea of the cover that's gonna go over it. I have to trim it better, obviously. All this is not gonna be it. But this is just the template that I'm making. And what I did, I welded these to the floor. And then it'll probably be Zeus fasteners. So if he needs to take the cover off and make changes, he doesn't have to climb underneath to loosen them up. I mean, he'll have to climb underneath to make changes to the back, but the cover will be so that if you need to make any suspension changes here, you can take the cover off and make the change he needs on the top bar. So again, it's going to look something like this, and then of course the Zeus fasteners will go through the sides. It'll look something like this. So that's about how it's going to look, except for it won't be cardboard boxes. Alright, so I got the passenger side all sealed up. Other than, like I said, I got to put the boxes in. I got to make the boxes for this. I got the rails in there, so I got it all sealed up. I mean, welded up. Got to grind everything down. It's hard welding to old metal, so it doesn't look so great, but it'll look good when I'm done with it. So got that welded up, so then this side will end up the same way. And I just grind everything down where it needs to be. And like I said, I'll make the boxes. It's gonna be one-piece boxes. I know I showed you the template, but the template, I just got it in two pieces, so that way it's just easier for me to make them out of the cardboard. But it'll be one-piece boxes. So I'll seal up the other side, or I keep saying seal up, but I mean I'll weld up the other side, get all that welded in like I did this side, and then I'll probably make the boxes next, or I'll grind it down. I don't know which one I'll do first, or one or the other. Once I make those boxes and grind everything down, should be just about done. At least from my side of it anyway. Alright, so I got one of the boxes done. Other than fully securing it, as far as haven't talked to the owner whether he wants to put Zeus fasteners in it or if he wants to just put screws in it. That would be quicker. So that's one of the boxes. This is how it's gonna look. This part will be covered up by this I gotta cut this to fit around the box. So all of that bar will be covered up. But yeah, that's how it's gonna look. This is how it did look. Just to refresh your memory. And this is how it's gonna look. So there we are. If you like these videos, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Now it's on to the next one.